This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike and I'm the host with the most. If I do so myself, I am here joined by three incredible artists and I will allow them to introduce themselves. But before we do that, kindly, if you have any questions today, we are talking about how do we center the artist in creative, sustainable creative economies as well. And also, just kind of opening up the space for the decision-making table for artists to lead the way in terms of policy making and systems that work for them, not just about them, but work for them. So yes, I will start with the gentleman on my immediate left. Kindly introduce yourself and tell the people what you are all about.
Thank you for the opportunity. I go by the name Julius and Njihia. First of all, before I proceed, I'm a born-again Christian.
Yes, yes, word up.
I'm a visual Christian artist.
Wow, visual Christian artist.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. The reason for that is because I do believe that we as artists and visual artists, not just as entertainers or people who paint for pleasure, but we paint to tell our stories. Okay. So we need to connect in one point to another. So I've developed a concept called Invite.
Okay.
Invite, this is where me and the audience we meet. So it's not just a painting, but it's just a story that both of us can connect in.
Okay.
Apart from that, I'm a storyteller, and I do tell stories in different concept and form. Professionally, I am a visual artist, like I've said, and a professional contemporary dancer and a choreographer. And let me not just say much. Let me not spill the bean. We have a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
All right, the one that is on my almost immediate left.
Thank you. My name is Derrick, Ibalai. I'm a contemporary artist, designer, and storyteller, currently based in Nairobi. And I really appreciate you guys inviting us here because this is the voice that we need to amplify the voice of the artists. And I'm looking forward to having an engaging conversation with all of you.
Karibu sana. Yeah, and a man who needs no introduction.
What's up?
Bana.
Yeah. My name is Elijah Moz.
Yeah, man.
I'm a secular performing
God.
recording artist.
We don't judge.
We listen, we don't judge.
This is my first time on radio. I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
The first interview.
Yeah. on a radio station that you work in.
Yes.
You've never been interviewed before?
Here.
Not here. Oh, so I get to interview you for the very first time.
Congratulations.
Hey, congratulations, Mama, I made it. Awesome. So, we just came off of a call with Lisa Russell there, and we've had to touch on some of the very pertinent issues that are affecting the creative economy. And I would really love to have this conversation now from the perspective of the artist, right? We've talked a lot about the tokenization of artists and the continuous exclusion from the policy making and decision making table. So maybe to start with you, Mr. Julius Njihia, why do you think that is so? Why do you think the case is that artists are always, you're just here to be seen, to perform, not to be heard? Nobody is consulting you when it comes to this very high level technical policy issues and decision making processes?
First of all, thank you for that question. It's a very intriguing question. When you try to dissect things from a perspective in terms of artists, I think from the regime that was there, based on the colonial system in terms of artistic world, we were brainwashed that we are nothing more but just entertainers and people who can produce pieces. But if you look in another perspective, according to the GDP of the world, according to the statistics, it says that at $2.25 trillion, it is being made annually. That is 3% of the annual GDP of the world.
Right.
So the question comes in, where does this money goes? So if you look in that perspective, you also need to be asking yourself, are the creatives being appreciated based on the value they're bringing to the table? But it's not that we are not being appreciated, but the system that is already there is kind of rigid.
Yeah.
And just like Lisa said, he said that respect is not a bonus. It's supposed to be the baseline for us to be working together. And also based on the system that was set before we came, is that artists, we were kind of excluded to work individually, not corporately. So, there is a verse in the Bible that says, a cord of three cannot be easily broken. So there is this division that was set for us artists to have this sentiment of, how can I put it, individuality. But if you work together in terms of collaboration, we're going to be changing now the system. But it's kind of hard because of the system that was already been there. So for us to come and rewrite, it's going to take time.
Right.
That's why we thank Lisa for the opportunity for the residency.
Yeah.
We quite learnt a lot. I would say, if this lady is supposed to be not appreciated, it's supposed to be honored for the knowledge and the insight. So for us, it's us as creatives to work in terms of togetherness so that we can rewrite. That's why we have this petition. The petition is entailed for the creatives. How are we supposed to change this policy? Do we have the people in the right organization who understand about a creative mindset? Do they understand what is the cost of being a creative rather than to be seen as entertainers? Because artists, we are being viewed as visionary. We are storyteller. We are people who are changing the trajectory of the future. So in that aspect, it's quite important that we look, first of all, in ourselves as artists.
Right.
And we're not supposed to be, how can I put this? We're not supposed to be given peanuts just to be divided. For instance, if right now Mose is being given a job, and for instance, let's say a client comes to me and say, okay, you know what, I'm supposed to be, this work can cost, let's say he come and ask for quotation, and I say that I'm supposed to be taking, let's say, £5,000, and then the client is like, okay, that is too much. Now goes to Mose. So instead of Mose calling back and be like, okay, since you've referred this me client, what was the initial budget that you agreed? So you'll find Mose, because it's desperate and somehow, we are struggling as artists.
Yes.
We're not being taught about financial literacy. So Mose will end up taking, let's say, like $2,
Yeah.
let's say $200. That is like 20,000 Kenyan shillings. So him taking that money is quite good for him, but on the other end, he's diminishing the value of the artist. So that is now where the problem comes in. But the moment we have people in the tables, even the UN, and I really love what Lisa is doing for the creatives, not just Kenyan, East African, but also worldwide.
On the global.
Because the residency was globally. And yes, we understand that the majority of artists are from Kenya. We have people from Mexico. We have people from China, Afghanistan. It's all around the world. And I really love the residency because we're being taught and being empowered that we need to work collaboratively.
Right. Derrick, let me come to you in terms of even that art residency. What are some of the inner workings of the creative economy that you've been able to maybe come to terms with during the art residency that perhaps you are not aware of? Yeah.
Yeah, initially I was thinking of the struggles that artists go through from an environment here in Nairobi, in Kenya.
Yes.
But I was actually surprised to learn that it's happening all over the world. We have artists in Afghanistan going through the same thing we're going through here. Artists from West Africa, from the Americas, the same things that they're going through, they're also going through.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a point of ignorance. Ignorance a big part for the artists because they don't know the value of the work. No one has informed them of the real value they're bringing into the world with their work. And also I could say maybe ignorance on the organizing part, the system now, but I'm not very sure about that. Maybe they know, but I want to assume that they don't know how they should treat the artist.
Right.
That's why we're talking about the artist-led organization, artist-led systems, because for us, we know what we need. We know what the world needs. And when everyone is happy in any interaction that is for creating art, the impact will be very big. So we are calling on all artists to actually read through the manifesto, understand what we are talking about. If you have questions, engage with other artists, engage with curators, let everyone be a part of this conversation. The creative industry is not just the artists serving. We have lawyers, we have admin assistants, we have curators, we have marketers, we have
distributors.
we have so many people taking a piece of that pie. So for everyone to be happy, we have to make the pie bigger. And the way to make the pie bigger is to have everyone contribute in the best way possible, for the best reasons, for everyone to be accommodated in that space.
Yeah. Coming to you, Elijah Moses, as my favorite hip hop artist,
Yeah,
you know,
man. Yeah.
if I do say so myself. What are some of the challenges that are specific to the hip hop industry, and how do you see yourself maybe being part of the solutions to kind of create this system that you want to see in the hip hop scene? I mean, I'll come to you as well. Yeah.
First of all, like what he said,
Yeah.
an artist is an afterthought. That is challenge number one.
Yes.
Secondly, hip hop is what can I call it? They associate hip hop with gangsterism.
Aha.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the corporate
presents
space,
a unique set of challenges as well.
because when you look at the corporate space,
Yeah.
the artists who go there to perform. Have you ever seen hip hop guys over there?
Actually, no, I've never
so-
seen EA
Yeah,
somewhere.
imagine. That's another thing. Okay,
Yeah.
and then there's ignorance. A lot of hip hop MCs are very ignorant. They don't know about the industry, and then you cannot tell them anything.
Okay.
Okay. Another thing is we are not united.
Aha.
Hip hop is about titles,
Okay.
so I have to be the best. So to be the best, I have to beat you.
Okay.
So we cannot work together.
Right.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Let me stop there.
Hauna mambo mingi. I want to piggyback on what he's saying there. You know, this idea of unity, creating as a collaborative effort. We live in a world where there's a lot of artist collectives, and maybe the visual artists also, there is a collective. Are you a part of a collective?
I will say
You
I'm a
plead
part
the
of.
fifth?
I did not play the fifth.
Yeah.
I played the 10th.
You played the 10th on that. Yeah.
Double innocent.
Right. Yeah. So, because my question was about, you know, these active collectives. Do they do anything for the artists, for creation, for the collaboration, for the partnership?
I will say,
Yeah.
first of all, that is a good question. Thank you for that. I will say that's why. I will say the first thing that we can see in terms of what is happening in the industry.
Yeah.
Let me give a simple, because I love doing my research properly. If you look at the Nigerians, even the visual artists, the storyteller, the music, these people, they understood one thing. If we are not going to be working as a team, we're going to be left out. So that's why you see they have this unity of, if you're releasing your music, at least let me be on the background supporting you. Let me just offer you something, because that unity now makes sure that that sector is growing. But when it comes now to us as visual artists, storyteller, writers, dancers, hip hop, everything, there is this aspect, just like Moses said, competitive. There is competitive aspect of me being the best, me being the best. But we forget that no man is an island. There is something I have, Mo doesn't have.
Yes.
And there is something Mo has, I don't have.
Yeah.
So the moment we come up with that perspective of understanding everything as a childlike mentality, that we can collaborate and create something. That I can fall in love with Derrick's work, and Derrick can fall in love with my aspect, and can be like, okay, let us create something that we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
But now it comes to this organization in terms of collaborative or collectors. It's I will summarize with this sentence: it's everyone for himself, God for us all. So whatever I can gain from Derrick, I'm good. Whatever I can get from you as Anne, me, I'm satisfied. I don't care about your interest.
Yeah.
I don't care about you. But we end up forgetting the aspect of times and seasons do change. But if you work with this aspect of where am I supposed to be in the next 10 years? But if we do as a collaborative aspect, we are going to be empowering one another. So it's, I will say, like a monkey chain reaction. I hold your hand, you hold someone else. So we work as a team. That's why, like, I will repeat this verse again. A cord of three cannot be easily broken. But if you walk individually, we are going to fail. There's this verse in the Bible saying in Amos, it says that two cannot walk together unless they agree. So unless we come up with that aspect, just like Lisa she has been doing, and she still continue to do. She's teaching us the aspect of unity. She's teaching us the aspect of you as creatives. If you work individually, you're going to be suffer. That's why it's better that we understand the aspect of teamwork rather than competitive aspect and competition. So it's quite challenging. And the two things that Derrick has said and Mose is that ignorance. My people perish due to lack of knowledge. So if we sit down and understand that as working as a collaborative, as a collaboration, we can outdo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can do this. We can now rechange the history. We can now rechange the amendment. But it's
Still a
quite,
challenge.
It's still a challenge.
Yeah.
But I do believe
Yeah.
what Lisa has impacted in our minds in terms of that residency. We are able to work I'm able to see Derrick not as a competitive, from a point of competitive, but as a point of, can we work together? Can we share this pie? Just like Derrick has shared. I said, there is so much pie for everyone, but the problem is everybody wants to eat a larger piece without putting in the effort.
Right.
Yes.
I constantly think of a term called intersectionality, and I'll come to you, right? Just looking at this right now, you're all male, right?
Yes.
And I wonder, was the artist residency mostly male as well?
Mostly female.
No, it was mostly
female, actually.
Okay. So when it comes to moving towards a more sustainable and scalable economic frontier that is for the larger part creative, how does things like inclusion and diversity come into play, Derrick? Because yes, as I've said, you guys are you are guys right now. I don't know what the scene is looking like for other creative spaces out here. So yeah, I mean, for us to get to that place of sustainable creative economy, I think that we need to be intersectional in our approaches. So yes, we are creating the space for more young men, for example. Okay, so are these young men educated? Do they have the economic empowerment that they need? So that's what intersectionality is about, because you cannot come to the table unless there is a lot of nuanced value and nuanced layers to kind of change the narratives and change the systems that we want to see. So
that's a very interesting aspect you've brought in, intersectionality. There's some time back I was looking into that, and I believe for intersectionality is how we're inclusive of all genders, all cultures, we bring them all into one place and they interact with each other in a way that it's positive.
Yeah.
So for the creative industry, I can say actually on the gender bit, the females have been very proactive lately. In the past, it was the gents who are leading the creative industry in Kenya. But right now, I see very many female visual artists, female musicians, poets doing amazing things.
What do you think the shift has been? Why do you think that there's a shift?
I think the shift has been on the general public.
Okay.
The general public don't care about these things. It's the system that you're talking about is edging out some parts of the industry. But the general public, they don't care about what you are, where you come from. As long as you create art that impacts them, they connect with it. And that's what's important. In the past in Africa, art was not an afterthought. Art was the main thought. Art is what held the culture together, held the community together. When they come to dances, they do rituals using music, using art. Their lifestyle, everything they use in the house was artistic in nature. So we should be looking into that and finding a way to go back towards that, because art can actually help us heal from all the conflicts you're facing, even in the country right now. We have political tension. Art could be the solution, but we don't look at art in that way, and that's what's harming us. So if we are intentional in our perspective of our art, we can be able to create a difference that for us and for the future generations.
Wow, I hear it. Let me come to you, Moz. And there was a challenge with some people raising about their what is it? I guess you can call it user experience with the petition. Others claiming that they were needed to pay some money. Others, it's not working. How do we ensure that we streamline the petition so that it works for everybody? And how can they even get it?
No, there were no challenges.
Okay.
It's only that a lot of people thought you have to pay first. The petition is free.
It's absolutely free.
Yes. But if you want to support...
Do you click a link to some... Where do we get it?
We are going to share the petition.
Where?
You can find it on change.org.
Change.org?
Yes.
Okay.
And from
so
our
we
pages
will link
too.
it on our website.
Yes.
Even in our pages.
Okay.
So this 300, you're not. It's not a must to pay.
Okay.
If you want to support the movement, that's when you contribute.
Okay.
Yeah. But we are hoping you're going to send because it's free and it's going to be of benefit to all the artists, irrespective of your genre and where you're from.
Now, you know, when you bring money, because I'm Kenyan and corruption is trauma, what are the accountability structures? How will I get to know that my money is being used in the rightful way?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
If I can assist more
Yes,
also
please.
on that is, remember even the petition for it, first of all, to be drafted and everything. This is the work of Lisa, because all the credit goes back to her. Because we normally say give credit to who is due.
Yeah.
So even this money, as we're contributing it, there is a website now we need to launch. So you can look at the aspect of now,
Okay.
the aspect supporting artists worldwide.
Yeah.
So we need the funds also to maintain the website, because this is absolutely free, but we're supporting the movement, because it's not about us, Kenyan or Asia or Pakistan, or it's about now everybody. And instead of us going now to ask for funds from other people who are going to be telling us to write the proposal as what the money is for, but what if we can come and contribute the little that we have, so that they can see that we are serious.
Yeah.
So the accountability is that we are supposed to be waiting. We are waiting for the website to be launched. Once everything is now in order, once Lisa has already launched everything, we're going to share, because for those who attended now the movement, us now who started the petition and everything, and the cohort, we're supposed to be now the founders and the co-founders. Lisa being our founder, we're supposed now to be the co-founder. So this is going to be as a torchlight now to empower other people, to tell them that this is what we have done and this is what we want to do. And also, just like Lisa has said, because this second cohort that is coming, we're going to be dealing with curators. We are going to learn on how also to curate our own events.
Yes.
Apart from that, this is the knowledge that we're supposed to be paying for, let's say $1,000.
Okay.
That is almost 100,000 Kenyan shillings.
Yeah.
But Lisa is here to empower us, because she saw the need of us having this. So even the money that you're contributing is not basically we're giving it to Lisa. She's spending a lot, actually.
In fact, she sent me a message.
Okay.
She is saying the money goes to promotion, not to us.
Yes.
Okay.
She will not take any money for the petition.
Yes.
It goes to the promotion of the cause.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I believe.
And even the
The
petition.
petition
And the
itself.
petition as well.
Because sometimes you have to go to places to
Yeah.
pitch.
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
Their transport costs.
Right.
you know?
Operational
Yeah,
cost,
yeah,
really. Yeah, it's quite expensive. Right. Okay, so that's really good to know. My other question would be, let me come to Derrick now. Specifically, what are some of your frustrations with specifically contemporary art, you know? I mean, it's quite a niche genre of art there. First of all, I don't even know what contemporary art is. Could you kindly tell us what contemporary art is? And then what are some of the specific challenges that you face as a contemporary artist, and how do we get out of that rut so that we can create and pave the way for other artists to thrive and to create and to live in a world that rewards them for creating? Yeah.
Thank you. I think I've answered this question
So
very
many times.
Yeah. A contemporary artist it's actually very simple. It's just an artist who exists in a certain time, produces art speaking about that certain time that he exists, using materials available to him in that time.
Okay.
So that's basically what a contemporary artist is.
Okay.
So somebody in the 1900s was a contemporary artist.
Back
Yes.
then.
Back then.
Yeah.
Yes, because you know that time
okay.
he used pigments maybe and mixed with
okay.
some oil.
Right.
But right
Yeah.
now you have computers. You can
Okay.
also create digital art. That's
Yeah.
still contemporary art, because
So-
you're using materials that are available to you.
So anything can create contemporary art.
Anything.
Yes,
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
Anything.
That's good. Yeah. So what are some of the frustrations that?
One of the frustrations that personally I've faced, and I'm sure other artists have also faced, is sometimes opportunities come to you and they excite you. So you jump onto them expecting, maybe thinking this is my big break, or maybe I'm going to get something, some big money from this, some big
dollar.
Yeah. But then after you've taken the opportunity,
Right.
you've done the engagement. Once it's done, then you realize, wait, I've not gotten much from this thing.
Exposure.
Exposure. Yeah.
And actually,
We need to talk about
it's called
that.
building a portfolio.
We need to talk about that,
Yeah, for
please.
real.
It's very manipulative. It's very exploitative. It's extravagant. We'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going back to the word ignorance.
Right.
So artists, when they find the opportunity, they don't take the time to look through the small details, the technical details,
Yeah.
things like contracts.
the clauses.
Yeah. You
Because-
don't understand
because
a
you're
big
an
part of
artist.
those things.
Because you're an artist.
An artist needs a team.
Yes.
True.
You need somebody to, but you still have to know what's happening.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't be blind. But as an artist, your work is to.
To create. Yeah.
That's why you see these big artists. People refer to them as brands because there's somebody doing something, promotion,
Yeah.
management,
Legal
finance.
affairs.
Yeah, you cannot do everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
now, even in Kenya, you know it's expensive to have like a legal team,
Yeah.
somebody to do your social media.
Yeah.
Yet artists are underpaid or not paid at all.
Yeah.
So how do we navigate this?
I will say something that I've been learning. It has been a minute before I have posted some of the few things. So I've been pushing myself to learn. So one thing I'll say, and I'll keep on insisting, just like Derrick, say the same word, then most the same, ignorance. So for a person like me, I had to, right now I'm currently undertaking class for personal branding and LinkedIn growth, as well as other classes. So there are many classes outside here that you can take, but I'll narrate them in one thing, relationships. Relationships. Right now I'm quite sure creatives, we don't have relationship with the lawyers. We don't have relationship with people who are doing medias. We don't have relationship with these people because at the end of the day, just like Derrick has said, the moment an idea comes, no, the moment an opportunity comes, the first thing we do is what am I getting? I have bills to pay. I have rent to pay. I have canvases. I have materials.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
My big breakthrough, just like Derrick has insisted. You're thinking about right now, if I'm going to fill this job, maybe I'm going to get like 50,000 Kenya shillings. It's going to boost me. But on the long run, you're not able to see now the pitfall that as you're working on these pieces, as you're working on this music, as you're working on this story, it's going to take a turmoil on you.
Right.
Mostly your mental health. So by the time you're not calculating this, you've already seen the bigger picture. You're now walking in a blinded path. So it's going now to exploit you on the other end. Just like Derrick has said, contracts. As artists, as creatives, we don't have things like contracts. Contracts like your personal contract. When the client reaches out to you, do you have the contract that is going to bind you and the client? Or the client is going to ask for the quotation, then runs? Do you have the contract that protects you? Do you have the contracts that is going to protect your IP, intellectual property?
Yeah.
So if we don't have this familiarity with this knowledge, and I will insist, just like Moses said, yes, you're the CEO, but do you know what is going on in and out?
Yeah.
Do you have people that you can tell, by the way, I am poor in this area? And I'll keep on saying this, pride. Pride has killed a lot of artists. And I will say this over and over again. I will act like a kid to know the things that I don't know.
Right.
If I don't know anything about personal branding, I will sit myself down because I need to learn. Because at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's not about me. I love what Lisa said in this residency. It's not about her. She's building generational that people will stand up and change the regime that is in. So it's quite difficult for us artists to navigate in these tough times, tough seasons and trajectory of changing if we do not have the right knowledge and the right principles to govern us.
Right. Let me just go through a couple of the recommendations of this manifesto. It's dubbed the Artist-Led Manifesto for a Just and Sustainable Creative Economy. Co-creation, not tokenism. We also have artist-centered spaces and residencies. Pushing for fair pay and respect. Artists as leaders in civil society. We also have intergenerational collaboration, Number 6, representation as legitimate stakeholders. And number 7, protecting our ideas and intellectual property. I mean, these are very, very robust ideas and, kind of important issues to kind of zero in. So let's go one by one. Let's go step by step. And for me, I think I would like to hear your thoughts on, the first recommendation, co-creation, not tokenism. Derrick, let me come to you first. When you I know you were the ones who came up with this. You guys sat together and created this. So what was going through your mind, and why did you decide that number 1 to be co-creation, not tokenism, in this recommendation of the manifesto?
As you've said, we created these together with many other artists all over the globe. And when you talk of co-creation, most times when we have something coming up for creatives, it's a space created for creatives. It's not a space created with the creatives. That's what you're talking about. Because when you create a space, a platform for creatives to showcase their work, it should be co-creation and not tokenism. Co-creation in the aspect that artists should be involved in every part of creating that space, because they know what they need best and what works best for them.
And to add on that, most artist spaces are run by people who are not artists. They don't understand the needs of the artist. We just see call-outs.
Right.
We see a call-out. we don't know who organized the event, what they wanted. So that's a major problem. That's why we need artist-led, not centered.
Artist-led. Yes.
Artist-run spaces, not artist-based.
I hear you. Okay, so there's something else also about intergenerational collaboration. Talk to us, Julius, about why it's important to have this conversation stretching across many generations, because I guess art is intergenerational.
I will say this. First of all, I will start with a quote that says, if you do not study the history, it's bound to repeat itself. So, but if you look now as terms of intergenerational field now in terms of art, we need to understand that where I am right now, I'm in Kenya, but I would love to work with an artist who is based in China. We have a friend from there, it's called Zen. It's because we need to understand different aspects of art. We need to understand how do they think as people from different concepts, from different countries. The moment we are centered ourselves as artists, and I will repeat this over and over to insist, we have to stop this mentality of I am the best. But the moment we work with one another, we're able to create something that is going now to be passed down, as well as also to have this collaboration, so that it's like a bridge. If you maybe you've studied something, if maybe you've watched about documentary in terms of DNA, the genome and the code, it's like that. You just need to be connected in one. Each and everybody has their different functionality, but we are all in one purpose. So
And there's a famous saying that goes, when an old man dies, a whole library burns to the ground.
Thank you.
So people from the older generation have seen so much, and that knowledge has to be passed on onto the newer generation, the young ones.
What do you have to say about intergenerational, I guess also dialogue, because it's one of the biggest conversations to be had?
They've said everything, but I just have a question.
Right.
I have a question. The older generation, I think most of the times they're the problem.
The older generation, you think that the ones who are the drama? Why?
They're the ones who are making it hard for us to have that.
So the issue of gatekeeping.
And then there's like when people used to make Lingala music. The people who used to listen to Lingala music, when they hear something like hip hop, isi muziki, kelele, they don't respect what the newer generation is doing.
Right? Because
But
they don't.
we have
get
to
it.
understand from the era when you were there and what is happening right now. Like we cannot be doing what we were doing in the 70s. Even me, the kind of hip hop I do, it's not old school, but it's a 90s hip hop.
Okay.
But I still respect what the youngins are doing, the drill and the trap, even if the content is not appealing
to you. You
that's
respect it.
So what I can do to help them is maybe hold a workshop, teach them about maybe social change, how to write music that is maybe talking about something, not just telling me I'll kill you, I'll take your wife. No? So we need to have that respect.
Right.
Because the major problem
Yeah.
is the older generation.
Yeah.
For real.
Okay.
And something just to conclude is that art doesn't age.
Okay.
Creativity doesn't age.
Put that on a t-shirt.
It evolves. It evolves. So the moment we understand that everything that we have, it evolves. There's this verse, my apologies for this. There's this verse that says, it's in the book of Ecclesiastes. It says,
You are a walking Bible.
Yes. Point of
Oh,
reference.
you know?
Yes.
I wish I could be like you.
No.
I'm
Lord
gonna pull out
Jesus.
the receipts.
Ain't pulling us something. Anyway. So just to paraphrase in that, garbage in, garbage out. So the moment you have this aspect of new knowledge in you, you'll able to understand things in a different perspective. And just like I will say, I was ignorant the moment I was in that residency, but I will look at myself in the mirror and say that I have really, really grown.
Wow.
That's why I'm saying creativity doesn't age, it evolves.
Yeah.
So if we are going to be looking things from a different perspective, as to this quote that I was supposed to say, there is season, time, and purpose under the sun. So just like Moses insinuated earlier, it's a matter of what people were doing back then. Yes, it's quite relevant because that is a foundation. But if you're not willing to foresee the future, what is coming,
Yes.
then we are going to be bound to be, in the past. Just like Lisa is trying to do right now regarding the AI. It's already here.
Yeah.
And if we are not jumping into it to assist us to make our work easier, then you're going to be left behind.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure we have, like, if we look in our Fox's life, right now, it's me sitting down teaching my mom on how to use ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and these things to at least maybe help her to summarize her emails and stuff. So it's now taking a turmoil on them because they were not prepared for the change.
Right.
But if it's true, and if you're not, if you do not have that vision of something is coming, and we need to be prepared enough not to fight it, but to accommodate it. So it's very crucial to understand that we need to have this aspect of where we hold mentorship program pipeline in terms of also funding, that we are going to be empowering the new generation, not based on what we know, but based on our mistake, that this is what we did on our past.
Yes.
We don't want you to repeat this. Now we want you to do better than us and pass this knowledge to those who are coming after you.
All right.
They need to embrace that.
Yeah.
Because what Lisa is doing, AI is a young man's game. I'm not saying Lisa is old, but she's the one who's teaching the youth.
Lisa, tell us.
Okay.
This guy is disrespecting you.
I'm saying
You have some experience.
she's the one.
Much love to you, though.
She's the one who embraced it first. She's trying to teach us about AI. I'm not a young man,
Yes.
but I embrace it.
You're not a young man.
I'm not a young man. Come on.
You
I'm
look
not
like-
even a youth.
You're not even a youth.
Yeah.
No, you are young.
It must
You're
be
young.
nice to look like one.
You are young.
You're making some of us look bad.
So what she's doing is what the older generation needs to do. Embrace it, accept,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe what Julius has said.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But
I-
also
yeah,
to add,
yes.
it's something that we need to understand is the moment you say you are old, I don't believe you are old because just to paraphrase this, I will say Lisa is young, very, very young.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful lady.
Also, I keep saying age is just but a number,
Yes.
and it is a human construct.
It's,
Yes.
It is
But
a social
she has
construct.
Yeah,
confirmed.
Yeah.
She has confirmed.
That.
I'm
Oh, she's
old.
Oh,
Maybe old school. Not,
old school.
Old
I see
school,
what
yeah.
you did there. Right. Unfortunately, when you're having fun, time really flies. So we are really, really pressed for time. So as we wrap up this conversation, I think it's pretty clear that there needs to be a systems change. There needs to be a system adjustment. So where do we go from here? Let's start with you. And then you can tell us where do we go from here and what you hope that the manifesto is going to achieve. The same, you guys will answer the same.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
We just go to change.org.
Okay.
That is where we sign the petition.
All right.
And I don't see and I don't believe where we're heading. We're already there.
Okay.
We're already there.
Nice.
Right.
So we are the impact, we are the change, and we are here to make it happen.
Fantastic.
So if you're there as a creative, as a spoken word writer, storyteller, everything, just go to change.org, sign the petition, educate other people.
As a radio host, do I also am I part of the
You are.
creative
Yeah,
ecosystem?
a big part of it.
And I knew that I am an artist. Now I'm younger to distracts. Yeah. Okay.
Because at the end of the day, anything that God has given you to make impact with, it's already a tool.
Right.
So you're already part of that team.
What do you hope that the manifesto is going to achieve?
I don't hope. I will say yes. Hope is believing in something that is unseen, which is quite important. I do believe that change is happening, and we are the change.
We are the
We are the change. Not just saying, but I am doing this. I've been sharing the petition in a couple of groups, educating people what is we're supposed to do as creatives.
Right.
Not just to be there in terms of competition, trying to share paintings, everything. Yes, we know who we are. And the moment you know who you are, just like my younger sister, she's called Purity, she said this, remember, if you know who you are, put a price tag on it and add tax.
Put
Simple.
a price tag and add
Add
tax.
tax.
Simple as it is.
My employer should hear me after this.
Be
Yeah.
fired.
Derrick.
Yeah, as my brother here said, we are not headed there. We're already there. Because for me, I know the Artist Manifesto is leading conversations. As we're having this conversation here, there are many other conversations going out there because of the Artist Manifesto.
Yes.
And because we're going to make it available in all the languages we can, it's going
That's
to
very
extend
important,
our reach to the young creatives down there in remote areas that we can't reach.
Yes.
And just let them know that there is this thing that you're creating, it has this value, and this is what you can do, this is what you can get, this is how you can collaborate with other people to create more value for the society.
Gotcha.
I don't want to repeat what they've said.
Yeah.
But Lisa is saying change.org won't take them to the actual petition.
Oh, so
You
where?
have to search for Artist Manifesto for a just and sustainable creative economy.
Okay.
What we can do,
We can link it on
give
our...
us, we can give out our WhatsApp numbers.
Okay.
You can take Lisa's.
Yes.
It's 0743 766 604.
I'm
Repeat it for
sure my
confirmation.
producer has captured that. She can link it on our description. Well, let's do this. We will link even the link to the manifesto down on our YouTube channel, PAWA. That's Power Radio. And then you can go there and sign the petition. Alrighty.
And don't just sign it.
Yeah.
Read it,
Read
share
it through.
it.
Share it.
Talk
about
And we're
it.
going to make art from the manifesto. There's a Spanish version also.
Hey,
we're going to have
you guys are
ethnic versions.
snazzy. Okay.
So wait for one from Cumberland from me.
Hey.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
when.
One mundo wa nyumba.
And we're going to make music from the manifesto.
Okay.
True.
It's not just a manifesto.
Right.
This one is our DNA.
Okay.
It's not
This is
just
cool.
words written.
Yeah.
Our
It is-
placard.
It is our placard. It's
Right.
our identity. That is our passport.
Your soul.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it has been such an honor. Thank you so much. I have had such a time, and I've learned a lot as well. I've learned that I'm an artist as well. So,
Welcome to the
royalties. Hey, I'm part of the fam bam. Lisa, shout out to you. Thank you so much for the amazing work that you're doing. Where can people find you?
People can find me in all spaces, mostly social media. But there's this one place, Najaribu. I'm trying so much.
Yes.
It's called X. X
Okay.
needs you to have strength, stamina.
Yes.
It behaves like your ex.
Oh.
Lord Jesus.
And can I tell you the funny bit? Do you know who's the ex of Donald Trump? Elon Musk.
Oh no!
So you're artist.
I am an artist.
That's a punchline.
Yeah.
Unspoken words.
Unspoken words. That's so funny. So you're on X.
Yeah, no, I'm on X, but I recently left
Okay.
because the pressure there is yay.
Which pressure? What do you mean?
Why are you just sharing paintings? Or you are doing something
Oh,
else?
but you know people are being killed for tweeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's I remember last year I did a piece. It was quite controversial, I'll say.
Okay.
It was about our governance and stuff,
Ah.
and so I was like, "Yo,
You're injecting.
let me just leave
Before they
let me
abduct
leave,
you.
let me leave, man.
Before they
Let me leave, man."
they say you died by suicide.
So in all social media platform, you can find me as my second name. This is the name I was given with my second brother. It's Wines Julius. WINES.
Okay.
JULIUS. Not wines for
For
whining.
apple, yeah.
Yes. Bible says get drunk with the Holy Spirit.
Right.
And then Julius, not Caesar.
Yes.
Not Caesar. I did not kill anybody.
Nobody.
I ain't killing anybody.
Yeah.
I'm here
You're
for
just
peace.
killing the game.
Damn,
Hey,
Jesus.
yeah,
Bless
just
you.
killing the game. Yeah.
So you can find me as a Wines Julius in all social media platforms.
Okay.
That is where I am. But in LinkedIn, you can find me as Njihia Wainaina.
All right.
That is where I am. And first of all, now before we conclude, I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting us.
Of course.
And whatever you're doing.
Let's
is
do
great.
this again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Asante sana. Mr. Derrick.
Yeah, thank you. For me, you can find me on all social media platforms at Ibalai Derrick.
Okay.
Or you can visit my website, www.ibalai.com.
Right.
Make sure you get Ibalai right.
Okay.
Ibalai.
Ibalai.
That's an IBALAI.
Okay.
Pressure to have a
Okay.
website.
Cool. I know. Yes, boss. Where do people find you? I mean,
Dandora.
apart from Gift of Gab on Wednesday and Saturday on you know where.
You can find me in Eastlands. Anyway, Elijah Moses. I'm Elijah Moses.
All right.
Across all social platforms, social media platforms, and you can find me here. I live here.
It's
Okay.
true.
Just
It's
to conclude,
true.
just to
He
conclude.
does.
Yeah.
And I live
He
like my
does.
own.
Especially
You
that seat.
rent free. Here is where he stays. Awesome. Coolio. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Lisa, thank you so much for amazing work that you are doing. And I hope that this conversation, yes, it cannot end here. One conversation is never enough to kind of have the sustained impact that we want to see. And that's just about it for today. Asanteni sana to everybody who was able to tune in to the Power Morning Drive Show.